Hello guys, welcome to Photographics Academy. Alright, so today I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough on how I was able to achieve this image from this to this, from scratch to finish, both from separating her from the background and a whole lot of other stuff that we'll do right here. I'm not even so sure how this was going to go by the beginning of the video, but look at the results we got at the end of the day. So without wasting your time, let's quickly get started. Definitely the first thing we're going to be doing is to crop this image. So I'm going to crop her like this and try to see if I can fit her into the thoughts of the image. Yeah, just like that, into the thoughts of my frame rather. Let me just fit her into the thoughts in such a way that I'll be giving her some space over here, because we might need to be bringing in some props at the end of the day, so we don't have to crop again. Just give her a lot of space and all of that. So place her over here. I want the line to be on her. Okay, beautiful. So you can as well go ahead and turn on your content aware to see how well that is going to handle your image. If that doesn't work, then we'll have to go back and do those filling ups manually. So let's wait for it and see how it goes. Beautiful. I think I like what I'm seeing. Yeah, although we still have some stuff to fix here. So to fix this, I'm just going to pick up my close stamp tool. I'll quickly just brush this over. You don't need to be too careful. We are going to, of course, change the background just to make things work out much more easier for us. Yeah, like that. Beautiful. Then you can pick up your mixer brush tool and quickly just mix the rough areas together. Just quickly mix the rough areas together, just like that. Alright, so when you are done with that, you move straight to your selection to separating your object from your background. So to do that, just press Ctrl J and have your object on a different layer. Then go to your quick selection tool. Yeah, use your quick selection tool to avoid hanging and all of that. Then select your subject first. So use your select subject to just make a rough selection. Then go straight into our select and mask to do some refining. So when you're done making your selection, you select inverse and make some adjustment. That is because I wanted to make sure that these boxes are added. So I'm just going to remove them from the selection, just like that. Beautiful. So you zoom in to make sure you have a very nice selection. So it's avoiding the shadows over here, which needs to go into the selection. So we definitely need to add that. Then check this one, check this place out as well. Add this up. At the feet, we are losing the feet. Check the edge of the box, we are losing it as well. So get it back using our lasso tool, just like that, to make sure we have a very nice selection. Go around your image. Okay, so look at this area. Just go through between your selection tools to just make a very nice selection at the end of the day, because it's going to affect our results definitely. Okay, so missed this area. So I'm just going to take time and do this so I don't get you bored with the process. All right, so when you are done, just go straight to your select and mask. Go to your select and mask. Of course, the selection we want to do, before you do that, sorry, I'm going to cancel that. Make sure you are hiding your background so it doesn't show behind your object and hide what you are doing. So go to select and yeah, so when you come here and you notice that your object is deselected because we are selecting the background, just come straight down, go to invert, press invert. It's going to invert the selection. Then zoom in on your image. One of the things you can do to adjust the edges and refine it properly is to go to your content, color aware. Make sure your color aware is selected. Then go to your smart radius. Make sure your smart radius is selected. Then go straight down. Open this up. Yeah, go straight down and come and make sure that your decontaminate colors is on. So it's going to help the AI functioning here to give you a proper selection around the edges. Yeah, you can as well reduce the amount if you do not want it to do that too much. Then increase the contrast a little, shift the edges a little bit inside, increase the feather, increase the smoothness, zoom it close to see exactly what you are doing. to see the effect it has on your image. You can actually put a color behind it so you can see the way it's working. So we can actually just pick up our red overlay to see how it handles the edges of our image. So looking at the background, looking at the image right here, you notice that the background color is also spilling into the image. So we can just pick here and come to the edges of those areas that needs those decontamination of colors and just paint over it, and it's going to do its magic and refine them just like that. Yeah, these areas. So just do a rundown just like this and get a very nice result just like that. Beautiful. Come over here again, paint this in. All right. Okay, let's come here, look at here, do the same thing over here. So for the edges of the hair, do the same thing. Sorry, that was supposed to be small. All right, so just paint over like this. Yeah, do not make it go into your object so much so that it doesn't start affecting the skin of your object. So just go around the edges of the hair and decontaminate the colors, just like we said. So we're already seeing how it's going to appear if we put a solid color behind this. All right, so zoom out, check what we've done. Okay, so at this point, we can stop and still come back later to make some minute adjustments if it's needed. So at this point, I'm going to stop here and go straight to other things we need to do in this particular picture to bring it to life. So at this point, I'm going to stop. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come straight down to my output source and select new layer with layer mask. So press OK. It's going to put this on a new layer. You can as well delete this if you do not want it, but let's keep it for now because we're going to use it to restore our shadows later. All right, so I'm going to place a solid color adjustment layer to this so that I can see exactly how it's handling my image. So at this point, you're almost done. You can decide to put any color you want and decide to put it to any color you want. Let me try something around gray. See the way it's looking so nice. Any color you want can work on this now. See the way it's treating the edges of the clothes because of the contaminate color we did. It's even speak like whatever color we are putting in the solid color, it's getting it straight into the dress because of that selection we did. See the way it's getting it straight into the dress. So let's just pick any color that is going to work for us. Of course, we can change it later, but let's just pick up any other color that is going to be perfect for this image. I think I'm going to probably stick with something grayish. Yeah, somewhere around here. Is that fine? What do you think about black? Too dark? All right, so let's just pick somewhere around the cyan color. Stick to this, darken it down a little. Yeah, just those light colors. Or rather, so confused right here. Let's stick to this. Press OK. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to restore some shadows to this image so that we can as well receive some dimensions in the picture. Can as well receive some dimensions in the picture. So if you look at the original shadow, you're going to notice the way it's spilling over the image. So one of the things you can do is to change this one to color if you wish to, and it's going to give you back your shadows. It's going to give you back your shadows when you start reducing the opacity of this one. You start receiving your shadows back in. So that's one of the quickest way I restore my shadows, because even if you change this to color, you can as well maintain the same colors you wanted it to have at the first place and still maintain your original shadow the way you want it to be. So that's what we are going to be doing now. We're going to be mimicking the shadow here and placing it over our image, even if you are doing a white background. So what we are going to do is that we are going to intentionally reduce the flow of this just in such a way that we have enough shadows. Once you start seeing enough shadows in your image which you want, create a mask for it and hide it here just like that. Pick up your brush and reveal just those areas that the shadows are, just like this. Reveal it here just like that. So this is the way you can restore even the original shadows into your image, just like that, to see what you are doing. Yeah, okay, so we are already doing too much. Maybe I can just put it at 100% and reduce it here, and it gives us our original shadows back. So when you are done with that, you can now decide to reduce the opacity enough to have your shadows just like that. Or you can even drop it at 100%. It's already looking so fine. You can just drop it at 100% and reduce the brush strokes just in such a way that it becomes faint and nice, just like that. And you can decide to bring in a little bit of the floor and the original dimensions of the original background, just like that. I think this is already too much, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Beautiful. So look at our before after. We've been able to restore some original shadows into the image. If you feel like it's not strong enough, you can as well change the blend mode to multiply. Or if you place it over your solid color adjustment layer and take it up a little. So any way you feel that you can use this and achieve your result, it's fine. So I'm just going to stick to this. And another thing I'm going to do just to bring a little bit more dimension into this image is I'm now going to create my own shadow for this image. So to do that, of course, we have this image on a separate layer right now, and we'll have this on a separate layer. Wait, where is that coming from? Okay, so this is coming from our original shadow. So I'm just going to remove this. I wouldn't want it coming in anytime we'll be using it. So we'll just remove this and stick to what we needed. Just like that, yeah. So we just needed the shadows, so I'm going to remove this, paint it out, yeah. So when we get her back, it's still going to give us what we are looking for. So now we're going to create an empty layer just in between the solid color and the subject layer. Create a very hard dark brush, just like this, and just do a dab, just one dab, Ctrl T, and use your distort tool here to make it lie on the floor, just like that, to make it lie on the floor, just to create that shadow that you would want. Yeah, just like that. Then drag it just under. Hold on, that shouldn't have been that. Okay, so just place it under the box and stretch. You can hold your shift to stretch it out. Place it under here, bring it down a little, stretch it out. Just take your time and get that done. Yeah, just like that. Just the way you would want your shadow to look. You can use your control to bring it down like that. Nice one. Okay, so having done this, I'm going to press OK, reduce the opacity and blur it out, definitely. So just blur it out. So it looks like an intentional shadow. Just mimicking the shape of the original one we had. Just like that. I think that is already too much. Yeah, beautiful. Then keep it at that. So if it's not giving you exactly what you want, you can now start moving it around to get a better adjustment. Just like that. Place it over here. Nice one. So I think I need to blur it out a little more. Press OK, please. Blur it out. Okay, press OK. So we're already having a very nice shadow, and I think I need to reduce the opacity just enough to keep it realistic. Nice. All right, so let's see what we've done so far. Have this before, after. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my marker tool. I'll just make a selection of the floor, the whole floor area, just like that. Then pick up my curves, reduce the brightness of that area. Yeah, just like that, to give it a separation and give that background a dimension. So I'm going to click on the logo of the curves and click on the mask again, and it's going to change into this. It's going to load up the feather and the density. So I'm going to feather it out until it looks seamless, just like that. So until it gives us the illusion that, okay, so the image was littered, the front area is more darker than the back area, which is not supposed to be, because if she was littered, then the front should be brighter than the back. So what we can do, than the back rather, all we can do is to press Ctrl I to invert that selection and we'll move it to the back. Now we can decide to keep the dimension of that background exactly where we want it to be. So this just gives the illusion that the background has a depth. Yeah, that's what we are trying to create. So it just gives the illusion that the background has a depth, which I think I like here. Nice one. So I think my shadows here was quite too harsh. So I'm going to reduce it and bring it out to the front just like that a little. Increase the opacity. enough to see what I'm doing. Like that, beautiful. So we'll just take it in, increase this one a little more. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so this is nice. This is nice. Okay, so check here. Just wanted to make sure she's having a contact with the floor, which I think we have achieved so far. Yeah, we achieved that. All right, so having done that, the next thing we would want to do is to take care of the box which she is on. So to do that, I'm going to come and apply this mask. So just to have her on a separate layer, then zoom in on the image and just pick on the boxes. I'm just going to make a selection of the box just like that. Beautiful. Quickly can decide to add this area, but I think I'm going to skip that part unless it's needed that I add it. So I'm just going to make a quick selection of the box. Nice one. Zoom in to make sure you are good. I think I'm cool with what I have there. All right, so let's check. Hope our body is not entering. Nope. So I'm going to also select this area. Very important, because we'll just be doing the adjustment all at once. Making the adjustment all at once. So let's just make a selection of those whole area. All right, so we'll avoid the stockings. Very important. Add this area as well. For the legs. So just take your time and make that selection. I'm going to fast forward the video so I can be able to make the selection without wasting your time, and I will see you soon. All right, so I'm done with the selection. I'm just going to create a black and white adjustment layer. That was a very quick way. That's a very quick way you can actually affect that wood and now start making adjustments based on that to just clear it out. Yeah, just like that. You can decide to make the edges even brighter, but I think I need to sink it in just like that. Just make your quick adjustments using the sliders to get a very clean up. Okay, so when you are done doing that, then come back to the layer and zoom in now to clean it up of those scratches and all of that. So I'm going to also fast forward while I take care of the scratches. All right, so I'm done with the cleanup. See the work we've done so far. So this was before, this is after, this is before, this is after. So look at the way the image is already getting transformed. Remember, this was where we started, and this is how far we've gone. This was where we started, this is how far we've gone. So other things you can do to improve this is to bring in your props. At this point, you can now decide to even change your background color. You can decide to change it into anything you want, and you will be getting a consistent look. You'll be getting a consistent look. But I think white still works for me right here. I think the white still works. Yeah. You can even decide to place it on the background of her clothes and probably darken down the brightness so you get that separation you want. But I think I prefer white. White still works for me, so I'm going to keep it at white. And now decide to bring in a prop. Maybe I could just, so I brought this out. I saw this and I loved what I was seeing. So I decided to, keep it by the side where we can lift probably one or two props and put it in the image and see how it looks. So I'm going to make a quick selection. Just pick up my object finder. Allow my object finder find any shape in the object, and now in the image or the background, they will move back to our own image and see how it looks for us. All right, so we've been able to make some selections. So we'll have this. We have this. What's that? What do we have? Okay, so it's on the floor right here. And we also have this. So let's move them around and see how it looks on our own image. So I'm just going to drag this over here, place it on my image. Since it's a similar backdrop, or we can even just mimic the color of the backdrop. See what we can do. I think I love what the backdrop is giving. So I can go to my solid color, press OK, minus it, go straight in there and pick and just find a hex code for the background, press OK, then go straight to our own, move into the solid color. Just this is afterthought. I didn't plan this. Press Ctrl V to give you exactly what you have on that background. So this will allow our composite to even become much more easier for us. We don't have to do a lot of matching to make it work. So I'm going to scale this in. Yeah, just like that. Place it over here or right here. Let me place it over here. So when you place it over there, I'm going to brighten it up a little to match the lightning in the scene. a little, just like that. Press OK, double click on it to introduce shadows. Go to your drop shadow. Go to your drop shadow. So watching the way the image is littered, I think it's littered from right to left because of this shadow here. So we're going to place the shadow right here as well and make it look soft. So just increase the size a little, bring it closer to the edge. Let's drop it here, reduce the spread like that, bring it closer just to create that shadow. Nice one. So we can add one more shadow. We can just add one more, reduce the opacity to the same object just to bring it a bit more closer into the inside. Let's just add one more. Go to plus. Go to plus. So this one we can make it hard. We can make this one hard. Just hang on. Let's get that. So then bring it very close inwards like this. Make it a bit smaller. Reduce the size. Nice one. Bring it in like that. Or rather, I could just stick with the first one we have. I think I prefer the result I was getting with the first one. So we'll just drop it down here. Drop shadow, bring it down here. And we are good. Press OK. So if you feel like you need more shadows, you can actually create that yourself. Ctrl J. Reduce the level of this one. Bring it down like this. Where is that? Bring it down like this. Move it around just slightly. Off like that, move it slightly off like that, and reduce the opacity as much as you can, just to give you that contact with the wall, just like that. Beautiful. So I think this is also too much, so we need to reduce the opacity slightly just to make it work. Maybe let's check our blend modes. I think I like what I'm seeing here. Okay, so reduce the opacity of the shadow, still too much. Where is our shadow? Okay, we'll have this at normal. Reduce the opacity here. All right, reduce the effect of the drop shadow. I think it's too much as well. Bring it down a little. Reduce the opacity. Nice one. Press OK. So we'll have it positioned properly. So we'll come here, pick up another one. Which one should we pick? So let's see what this one has. Okay, it's the same one. Okay, so pick up this one, do the same thing over there and place it. Just come here, place it on the floor. I think I saw it on the floor, so I like it on the floor. Maybe over here, scale it in a little. The floor here, bring it inwards. Okay, or rather here, let's drop it here. Okay, press OK. So just do the same thing with the drop shadow stuff. Go to drop shadow, shift it one side. Yeah, so increase the opacity just slightly so the shadow can be very visible like that. Reduce the distance, increase the spread, reduce the size, just to make it a bit hard. Make the lightening a bit hard. Okay, so place this over here, bring it very close to the main image so it doesn't look like it's floating on the air like that. Okay, press OK. All right, so we'll have the shadows working properly for that particular one. So this is before, this is after, before, after. All right, so the next thing we are going to bring in is our table. So let's see, this is the layer. So we'll drag it over and place it over here. Nice one. So we scale it, place it over here, scale it in. Keep it there, make it bigger. Just behind her like that, or you can. So if we intended replacing the box with the table, this is where you could have done, with the chair rather, this is where you could have done it. So I just want it looking very close to her. Place it on the floor. Yeah, just like that. Can even send it backwards into the background and now make it big from there. So it gives you the impression that it's behind her. Just keep it there. Of course, it shouldn't be bigger, so just position it there. Press OK. Take it a little bit upwards. Press OK. So what I want to do is I want to create a shadow for it. For the contact, so I'm going to create an empty layer. Press my brush, the same thing we did. Use a dark hard brush and do a dab. Press Ctrl T to spread it out like that. I'm using my shift to make this particular kind of adjustment I'm making right here. right there. So just place it up below the chair, just under the chair, enough to make it look like a shadow. So place it under, stretch it out a bit just to get that floor properly contacted. Press OK. So have it, reduce the opacity. Nice one, beautiful. So you can now decide to group the two of them together, Ctrl G. So if you are increasing the size of the chair, the shadow is also increasing with it. You can see that, right? Nice one. So I think at this point I need to increase the curves on my background just to make it a bit more darker, just like that. Beautiful. And place it below everything we did so it doesn't affect anything. Place it below everything we did so it doesn't affect anything. Keep going down. All right, so place it here, just below everything we did. Is it working? Okay, so I think our solid color is hiding that, so let's move it to a place where we'll see it. Okay, so here, still not giving us the effects we want, so place it up here. Just move it around till you get exactly what you want. Move it here. So you notice right now that it's very important to monitor your layer placement. It's very important. It affects even the way everything you do appears. So I'm going to place this group over it and still check exactly what I'm getting. So have our group here, we'll have it right here. Okay, we'll have it where we want it to be, but I think it's too much, so we need to reduce it slightly. Beautiful. All right, so this was the effect I was looking for, before and after, just to give it that separation. And I think my chair is slightly too bright, so I'm going to also reduce it. So I'm going to convert this group into a smart object. I know all we are doing is quite complicated, but it's all to make it look realistic. But trust me, if you can study this tutorial, you are good to go. Okay, so beautiful. Press OK. So we'll do a global color grading for the image just to get a very beautiful synergy between all of them. And you can even decide to bring in texture at this point if you want to, but I want to leave mine as a plain color. So I think she's a bit too dark, so I'm just going to add a little lightening to her. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm going to create I'm just going to create a photo filter layer here. Yeah, just make it a cool effect. Beautiful. Then create stamp visible layer above everything. Go to your camera raw, increase your saturation, just do a little adjustment, and we are good to go. So let's see how that works out. I'm going to reduce the opacity, just the warmness rather, slightly. Come straight down to my calibration to the blue primaries, increase it slightly. Reduce the blues in my color mixer. Reduce the blues. I think I want it down a little. Nice one. Increase the magenta just slightly. I think we're losing quite some warmness here. We'll bring this in. Yeah, nice one. So we have to create a vignette effect just to draw the whole attention to the middle. Nice one. Beautiful. So look at the way the image is already looking so nice. So I think I'll need to increase my lightening, my highlight a little, probably a little bit of my shadows as well. Just to lift up the whole thing from her face. Reduce my white slightly, then dehaze it a little, or rather, let's see if adding a little haziness will be better. I think I need to add a little haziness. Increase the whites just slightly, darken it a little. So just move sliders around front and back to get exactly the kind of result you want. So I think at this point I no longer want the magenta, so I'm going to reduce it, or use your luminance to darken the brightness of her dress. Yeah, just slightly like that. Beautiful. Check other colors that she has on her. I think I'm seeing some greens, some yellows, probably bring down the orange slightly. Yeah, just like that, and you are good to go. So this is the before and after of what we did here. Before we entered, after, before, after, before, after, and you have a very, very nice effect. I'm going to press OK and wait for that beautiful nice one. So we can just check out our color lookup tables and see if we have any other color grading that would look so nice on the object as well. I think I like what this gave. Just reduce the opacity. Beautiful. Or try other ones out as well. Let's see. This is so nice as well. This is beautiful. Okay, I think I love this. We just have to reduce it slightly. Having done the color lookup, I'm just going to add a little bit of my cooling filter one more time. Yeah, then place the opacity somewhere around 47. I think that should be a place that will work for me, or 45. Beautiful. So I want it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match all of this together. Let me just flatten it all so it doesn't hang the next step we want to take. So press OK, because I think we're hiding a layer down somewhere. So after matching everything you have done together, I'm going to now do the final touch to it, which is my done for you retouch action. I'm just going to play it and put the Gaussian blur at 2 and allow it do its magic. All right, so let's go closer and see what we've done. So this was before we added our done for you after, before, after. Look at how amazing it cleaned up the skin, did a very nice frequency separation and all of that. And this is done. We are done. So this is the overall before and after. I think I'm going to just go to my history, make a snapshot, drag this down and go up. Okay, so this is the overall before and after when we came into Photoshop, where we've done nothing to the image. And this is after we are done doing some compositing. Isn't this beautiful? Thank you one more time for watching. See you on the next one.